Morning, my roomies. It's Jason and Johnny with JJHOS of Sports, episode 6, coming to you live on Sunday morning. Johnny, how's it going, buddy?
Oh, good, good. Not too bad. How about you guys?
Not too bad, not too bad. You know, it's been a fun week. Kind of a lot of stuff going on personally. Kids have been a little sick, but generally, looking forward to the weekend and looking forward to some great sports and such. What about you? Anything exciting? Anything you're interested in seeing this weekend?
For me, the big thing is definitely the UFC 259.
Yeah.
I'm a big UFC fan, and I'll be watching that.
Who's fighting in the main event?
Main event, Yair was Pereira. It's gonna be a fun fight, fun styles fighting though.
The first time between the two?
Oh yeah, first time between the two. First time Pereira's moving up to light heavyweight actually, and it's Yair's comeback fight from being off the year from being hurt.
What was he hurt with? The upper
Shoulder
body?
shoulder injury.
Yeah. Hmm. So it should be pretty interesting to see how he responds there. What are you expecting? Like a quick knockout or
So
like
I'm
a full
someone's
round
going to
kind of
sleep.
fight?
Someone's going to sleep this fight. So this is
Okay.
probably not going the distance. I don't see how it goes the distance, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah. So any other fights on the card that you think are also a little highlight of the night, or is it just that one,
Oh,
the main
the
one?
that's the main fight. That's the main event. The co-main event is interesting too. You got what's his name? I can't pronounce his name. I'm just gonna call him the White Nagano because that's what people have been calling him. He's got some wicked knockout power versus Aspian. Should be a fun fight too. You know, heavyweights going at it.
So just pound for pound, kind of like punch, ground pound.
Again, and
Kind of.
again, heavyweights probably aren't going the distance.
Yeah. So another like first 2 rounds kind of thing.
Should be close. The guy's name is Pavlovich.
Pavlovich.
Pavlovich?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so if you were to bet on this pay-per-view card, what are we talking about?
I think you can just parlay both fights not to go to the distance and right there.
Yeah.
That'd be your bet.
All right. All right. What do you think that's gonna pay you? Like good one.
I haven't looked at what it pays. They're both probably heavy favorites that both fights get finished inside the distance, so it might
Okay.
not pay too much. But I do like if straight
But it's
fighters,
a lock, is what you're saying, pretty
nothing's a
much.
lock. Nothing's a lock, but I like this as play. I think
Yeah. You dropping one of your units on it?
no, I'm probably going to play Yai to win. He is the underdog at this time, slight underdog, but I do
Yeah.
like him. But it's a tricky fight because Yai had really good showings before his injury. Perez got touch of death, but
Yeah.
Yari has
Why?
lost
Why?
18
But if you
years.
just bet, so should I bet by a finish and just bet the
Yeah, roll the
submission?
dice and bet by finish down. I don't think it's a submission victory, so I think people are going to sleep.
Oh,
They're
you.
getting
Oh, when you say sleep, you mean like
or they're
knocked
getting
out?
hit. They're getting hit
Yeah.
and they're not getting back up.
Got it. Got it. All right. All right. UFC. You know what I'm gonna be watching? Oh, I was supposed to be there, but I got a couple events to go to. CFL. It's finals for both the East and West. As expected, we have the Argos and Montreal Alouettes in the East, and we got the Blue Bombers and the BC Lions in the West. So both Winnipeg and Toronto play hosts, and for me, it's looking like it's going to be a repeat of last year's Gary Grey Cup, just like you talked about last week. Um, I don't. From what I saw in the playoffs, the first semi matches, I mean BC looked very dominant, but Winnipeg has had their number all season. Really, when it comes to actually playing them and not taking a flyer on the wall. And then Montreal has barely scraped or touched any of these three teams. So for them to now miraculously pull a win, I think it'd be a huge, huge upset. I mean, they opened up at like 10-5, 10.5 on the spread, which all season the Argos haven't had a spread that high. So it just shows you how confident I think the bookies are on Toronto being able to just handle Montreal.
Yeah, I think Toronto wins. I don't think they come with 10.5.
Yeah, I think the points is a little high, to be honest. So if
It's a
if I'm
it's a
putting,
playoff game.
yeah, I think it's
Expect
like
Montreal to
five,
tighten up a
six.
little bit. They
Yeah,
probably win by a touchdown.
yeah,
But you're saying this is touchdown plus field goal plus.
yeah.
Oosh.
It's a little much. Yeah, it's a little rich. Uh, that actually makes me, I'm thinking about it, and aside from those two sports, you got the NHL that's been sort of picking up steam, and it's been a little rough for a lot of Canadian teams, I would say, unless you're a Vancouver Canuck fan, which case you're probably enjoying your season so far. But if you're any other kind of team and you're cheering for a Canadian team, you're kind of kicking your head. Uh, Edmonton
Not good.
has
Let's just call it like it
not
is.
shown.
Not
Yeah,
no bueno.
no idea what's going on there. I mean, I guess it starts through the back. The Leafs in the same kind of boat, also starting from the back. Uncertainty. Do you trust a guy like Wool? He's still classified as a rookie, to be fair. But it's a lot of pressure to put on just one guy. Samsonov just hasn't looked healthy. Hasn't looked great. Calgary probably should be one of the better teams and just flat out not performing. And I don't know if it's just players don't want to be there. Players were just struggling in their careers. Just it's kind of sad there. And then you got Ottawa that I haven't really seen much upside. Montreal is doing what Montreal is expected to do. And then Winnipeg is, played like Winnipeg. But one thing that gets me with these teams, and in particular teams like the Leafs, they went out and got, quote unquote toughness, right, to help ensure their team can fight back or, hold off a couple of goons and not get bossed around by players like Marchand and Lucic and such. But here we are in the Boston game, a week ago, and no
Oh,
one
it
steps
was
up for all
it
the
was
shenanigans. Like, what's the point of having a guy like Ryan Reeves then on your team? Instead of just getting a negative performance. He's not a really good hockey player, period. Like,
he,
why,
you know,
why? What is he doing if he's not out there to punish, guys who are bullying your star players?
that's the thing. He's not doing anything. He's
Yeah,
supposed to be there with that big hit, that big fight, protection as we like to call it. And he's not. He gets put on the ice and not those key times.
yeah. It's like he's being played to actually contribute on the scoreboard, which
I watched
is
I watched it earlier today actually. The Leafs scored a goal and they put Reeves on the ice after the goal.
why wouldn't they want to double up? Yeah,
I think he's minus 11 for the season right now.
it's ridiculous.
I could be wrong, minus 11, and the season's still pretty early, a month in.
Yeah, yeah,
Minus 11,
yeah. I
he's on
think the
pace.
record is like minus 50 or something, and he might eclipse it. Yeah, it's just for me. It's like, does this Do you find that this softness is happening across the NHL? That it's just there's going to be guys who are good players, and let's take a prototype like Mershon, who can score and hit. Guys like Brady Tkachuk, you know, um, that are can kind of grind in. Corey Perry, even to an extent, can grind and still contribute to the scoreboard. But then you have players like Reeves, Lucic, I would put now there. Um, who else is a rough and tough kind of guy? You got these guys who are just not delivering on what they're supposed to bring to a team. And I don't know if it's coaches just not sure how to integrate these guys anymore, or they just decided, you know what, we're just going to try to beat people with speed and finesse. And, oh, if you get bumped or something, big whoop. You're a tough cookie. Just get up and play. No one's there to defend nobody. I almost feel like I'm waiting for Matthews to just drop
Well,
his
you s-
gloves.
well,
To
you
just say,
remember
fuck
last year,
off, I'm going to do
Matthews
this
fought
myself.
Matthews fought Stamkos in the playoffs last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matthews, will get physical, but in terms
Even.
of
Hmm.
that big hit and stuff like that, he's not that guy. That's why you
No.
go get Reeves. That's
Yeah.
why you go
To
get,
deliver a hit like that.
you got, previous years, you got Simmons or Clifford,
Yeah.
but it's how the
Or
coach utilizes them. And
yeah, or even like Giordano to an extent is like, but he's old. He's up there, in age, so he can't do much all the time. But it was also the beginning of the season. I think you saw a lot of like double dipping where guys had to fight themselves, and a player like Crosby, who, not notoriously known for being a rougher or really trying to get at somebody's and under their skin and such, but he was starting to do it at the beginning of this season, and I think it's just him finally getting into a position where it's like I gotta actually fight for my own battles and my position in this league, and it's not about waiting for that respect to come to them, right? There's a reason why Ovi never really got bullied, because Ovi was always bullying as well, right? And he would throw a hit, but Crosby was not throwing hits. Um, it's sort of like your character in this game. He's not supposed to throw hits. He's supposed to just pop in goals. Um, I don't know if it's just something that is with part of this sort of new era where it's just gonna be okay. You're just gonna accept being bullied if you're good, and that's that. Um, I kind of look at it in other sports too, and I'm wondering if it's sort of just a generational thing, and we're just moving away from toughness, and we're moving towards sports being all about technique, talent, and the aggression and grit is just not a part of the game anymore. I
No,
don't think there's a single villain in basketball right now. Maybe Dylan Brooks. Maybe.
no, there's lots.
Yeah, who
Embiid,
would you cut?
Joel Embiid.
Is he
He's
really a villain? I guess he's.
These aren't villains. You're not supposed to be a goon in basketball. You're not supposed to
No, but
build the
you
body.
can you could throw the body. You could just kind of be in someone's face or just being annoying to somebody, right? And just getting people riled up, right? Before you had a bunch of guys like that in um in basketball. I mean, even Danny Green, to an extent. Um, you know, he's there. He's kind of always getting people's skin. But Brooks is like teasing and taunting LeBron now, and it's you see LeBron getting
It's not
sort of
being a
teased by it.
goon.
No, but it's not just being a goon. I'm talking about like bringing that level of of skill to your athleticism, right? And like actually making that part of your character, part of your delivery to the sport. Baseball, we had, actually, I think this year we had quite a bit of bullying happening. There was a little bit more run-ins, maybe because the bases were bigger. Um, so people have to be a bit more rough. But like, you're not really seeing guys throw punches at second base anymore like you did in 2015,
No, but
2016.
you know that's yeah. You had a big fight like this year with Anderson and with Mayweather.
Yeah,
It
yeah, yeah,
happens,
yeah,
but like it's not. Yeah, that's not the game. Hockey's a
yeah.
physical. Like we're talking, hockey's a physical game here. Baseball is not supposed to be a physical game. Basketball is not really supposed to be a physical game.
Well, physical in the sense of like getting getting bodied.
Yeah, you're not supposed to get bodied.
But I'm talking about mental toughness too, just being out there and like, being a menace and being that bad guy, and getting people annoyed, you know. Oh, talking about bad guys, I think this is probably our worst game ever on this podcast, making me second guess if we should even air this bad boy. Um, I don't know. For me, it's like I want to see parts of the sports that I watched growing up sort of return, right? Not saying let's go out there and have Rock'em Sock'em 2023, 2024. Obviously that era is kind of gone. But toughness, I think people need to be a bit more into their game and showing that like, hey, I'm not gonna get bullied out of a position, or I'm not gonna get bullied. If I'm playing basketball, I'm not getting bullied in the paint. If I'm playing baseball, I'm not getting bullied by the pitcher taunting me or doing anything like that, and really getting into my head. If I'm playing hockey, it's not like if I get punched into the boards or like bodied into the boards, I'm not just, oh, woe is me, let me go back to this skate or back to the bench, and hopefully Ryan Reeves will come and beat the crap out of that guy for me. But I want to see people step up and just be like, yo, I don't appreciate you roughing me. I'm going to rough you back. Or, demonstrate that there's more to than just being like, hey, I'm weak. So that the next game, someone is just on you because they also have some guy who's going to be as annoying as Marshawn, or as annoying as Lucic, or as annoying as Corey Perry,
Honestly,
or
that
as
comes down to
annoying as
coaching.
Gudas,
That comes down to
right?
coaching, because your coach has got to put you into positions to go make those plays, make those hits. You're not gonna hit you gotta hit someone else, sure, but then it just retaliation penalties and all that. You gotta take care of business with the coach. That's what you get signed to place these roles. If you don't go out and do it, that's on the coach, flat out.
I agree, man. I agree. Well, I digress. I think you and I have talked about this quite a bit. Um, I hope we see a new era emerge where people are a bit more open to defending themselves, and the coach is okay with letting star players sort of get rough or fight for themselves really, and be like, yeah, go ahead, go throw that body if you want to, be pissed, play pissed for a period, Uh, anyways, that's episode 6. Feels a little quick, feels a little short. Maybe because this game was quick and very short. Uh, 4-0. What a slapping. All right. Anything to add, Johnny? Before we
No,
wrap it up here.
no, nothing to add today.
All right. Well, Johnny and I are gonna go and do some off stream grinding. Hopefully, we'll come back to you with a better result next time. But as you guys know, we're amateur podcast people here. We're not the greatest players at this game. If there's anything you guys want to chat about next week, let us know, and we'll be happy to cover it and such. With that, signing off. Peace.
It was.